So welcome everyone to the Sierra Harvest Farm to School Replication Training. My name is Malaika Bishop and I'm the Co-Executive Director of Sierra Harvest.
My name is Amanda Thibodeau and I am the Farm to School Program Coordinator, and I also run one of our educational farm sites, the Food Love Project. So we wanted to start out with doing introductions. Now that you know who we are, we would like to know who you are. And we don't have a ton of time, but it would be great to learn from you who you are, where you're coming from, and what you hope to gain from this training. You want to start?
Yeah, should I stand or
You're
I'll just
fine.
stay right here. My name is Suzette Turner, and I originally come from Utah, but moved to California for the food. And I hope to one day have a farm/education center of my own, so this is very applicable. So.
Lara Hawthorne with Valley Red Farms. I'm down in Loomis in Placer County, and I'm interested in learning the process of how to get nutrition back into the school lunch.
Catherine McRoberts. I have Laughing Duck Farm. I'm a master gardener in Placer County. And I also have been working in the school gardens for 10 years. And this is something that's dear to my heart. So anything I can try to do to get more healthy, more farm to school down in that area is my whole vision. So you get to introduce yourself. Perfect.
Or just say who you are, where you're from, you know, kind of what you do, and what you're hoping to gain from today.
Okay, my name is Amber, and I actually came from Forest Hill Elementary School. Oh, it's not elementary anymore, it's Forest Hill Divide School. And I've been talking with the site council and the principal about starting the school garden, and I think the farm to school is a really neat idea. I know nothing about it. So I'm here to learn a lot and to gain knowledge for not only farm to school, but also just to start the school garden. I mean, I'm still one, so it sounds like this is a lot more advanced than that, but I'm really at step one.
Hi, I'm Gerry Paulson from Food Full Circle in Auburn, and we are a small collaboration of a variety of folks from different aspects of the food puzzle. And we are interested in applying for a farm to school grant.
And I'm Ken Herr. I'm involved with Food Full Circle also, and the Auburn Interfaith Food Closet, and former master gardener. And I love the garden. But my main reason for being here is to substitute for my wife, because she's been real involved with Food Full Circle as to applying for grants and that sort of thing to promote food into the cafeterias and lunchrooms and that sort of thing. So she's not able to be here, so I'm here. Thank you.
My name is Tara, and I basically grew up in the Oregon Heights area, so not very far away. I grew up on a ranch farm, had kids, kind of moved away from it, going back to it, and I'm on the board of an environmental science school, and we're trying to outreach to our local gardeners that are starting out in the area and create connections between the school and try to bring funds and more energy and more interaction between farmers and kids.
Good evening, my name is Donna Epwortzel, and I live in Granite Bay. We just last year bought a 3-acre property horse ranch in the heart of Granite Bay, actually, walking distance to 5 schools. And it's nice and level, and we just implemented our first 8 boxes. The goal is to create, for 9 years I've been working with kids about their nutrition and realized that they don't even know what good food tastes like. And but also the self-esteem and personal development that comes from learning how to grow things, and you know the pride that comes with that. So developing leadership, you know, using the farming and getting it back into the schools and creating that cycle as well. So what I'd like to learn is how you guys have done this successfully over this period of time. It's a blessing for me to be here, and I just thank you for all that you've done over the last several years to do what you've done so far. So thank you for sharing.
My name's Roberta, and I'm here with my daughter. I have 2 grandsons that are going to school in the Nevada County schools, and I'm interested in what you people can do and do with the schools. I think it's wonderful.
I'm Lori Lewis. I'm a master food preserver, and I am also a master gardener in Placer County. I am currently the school garden committee lead for master gardening for Placer County. And so I work with all the schools in the county trying to implement having them have a successful garden, But I also, a lot of the schools now are wanting to move to the next step and have that full circle by doing some cooking, and they can't grow enough on a school garden to do that. So trying to find a way to bring from the local farms into the schools, and they just grow enough to get an idea of what it's like. So bringing it from the farms into the schools and then having them cook it and taste it is my ultimate goal here.
I'm Susie Sutphin. I'm the director of the Tao Food Hub up in Truckee. It's a small nonprofit where we're creating access to locally grown foods for our wholesale markets, and we also have a developing educational farm site where we lead school tours and working on a summer camp. And we have a really progressive school district, Truckee Unified School District. Have a healthy food policy in place, and now just trying to take that next step with the work that we're doing of sourcing local food, now getting that into the schools. And in collaboration, we did apply for the USDA Farm to School grant, so that will definitely be a game changer if we get that. So yeah, exactly. Really excited what you guys are doing and lots to learn. So.
I'm Sarah. I'm working with Susie and the school district to try and get this program going, and I'm here just to learn as much as I can so I can help them when they get back.
I'm Bree. I also work at the Food Love Education Farm in Canada, and I'm here because I'm excited about farming education, and I'm from Michigan and east of there, so I'll probably go back there eventually, and I'll take that and then back east.
So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about Sierra Harvest to give you the context. Our Farm to School program is a piece of what Sierra Harvest does, but by far not the whole organization. So Sierra Harvest is a nonprofit organization. We've been around. We're the merger of 2 nonprofits that have been in Nevada County for about 5 years previously. Living Lands Agrarian Network, which was focused mostly on farmer training, and Live Healthy Nevada County, which was focused mostly on improving school lunches and working with schools. And in this past year, we merged and became Sierra Harvest, and we are a stronger organization for it. So we have 3 areas that we work in. We work with children in 16 schools, and also on the Food Love Project, our educational farm site, and we also support a couple school gardens and do a couple garden nutrition education classes at 2 different schools. So you're going to hear a lot about the farm to school piece of the children side of things. And then we also work with farmers. We support farmers and learning more about how to do their work. We have kind of this conundrum in our county where I'm sure it's similar for you, where we have a farming population that's getting older. The average age of a farmer in Nevada County is 58 years old, and the majority of those farmers don't have a succession plan for their farms. And so they're really looking for new blood and a way to preserve their land as agricultural. So we're working with the Barry Yuba Land Trust to provide agricultural conservation easements for those farmers, and at the same time training and connecting young farmers from agricultural training programs with those landowners, so that farmers have a place to farm. And so that's kind of the farmer piece. And then we also work with the community. So We support food security by helping families to grow food at home. So we help build garden beds, and then we provide starts and seeds and mentorship and cooking and gardening classes for 2 years for those families. And so rather than just building a garden bed and saying good luck, we actually walk them through that process of what it takes to grow food at home. And we also put on community events. We've put over 100 kind of local food and farming events on in the past 5 years. We do farm potlucks. This season we have a series of farm potlucks coming up at 10 different local farms. We do farm field gatherings, which are more for farmer networking. And then we put on soup nights. Usually in the winter, we have summer camp for food love, food picks. So lots of ways to celebrate our local food culture. So maybe I'll just let you guys who just walked in introduce yourselves. We just said who you are and what you're hoping to get out of the training, and or what your goal is around farm to school.
So I'm Kevin Hesser, and I'm from Calaveras County, and I'm a school teacher there, and also we're developing garden programs throughout the county. My wife and I also have founded a nonprofit with the president of the Master Gardeners called Gardens to Growing, which is supporting school gardens and raising money and doing projects throughout Calaveras, and also we're working in Amador County as well. And I also help support Motherlode Farm to School Network, so we're working with Malika and also folks in Tuolumne, Calaveras, Amador, and El Dorado counties, and are trying to bring the stakeholders together that are interested in farm to school in those counties and really begin networking and looking at what's happening, what are the success stories, and how do we do that across the region and working with other people. And we also are a Food Corps service site, so we have a Food Corps service member in Calaveras, and we also are going to have one in El Dorado next year. So we're going to have, we partnered with UC Cooperative Extension with Food Corps, and so and they represent the 4 counties: El Dorado, Amador, Calaveras, and Tuolumne. And so we're going to have a service member in Calaveras and Tuolumne, or in El Dorado next year. So that's a little bit of stuff going on. Yeah.
So I'm Bill Jensen. I'm from El Dorado County, and Kevin is really testing his mettle here today. He has organized this Motherlode Farm to School Network, and it goes from Tuolumne County to Nevada County, so he's got a good feel for what it takes to get from one end to the other. I am the school garden coordinator at Northside Elementary. This is our 3rd year. Done a lot of work with school gardens. Went to some coursework up in Portland, Oregon. Become a school garden coordinator, growing gardens program up there. And I thought maybe I would network the school gardens in El Dorado County. Kevin said, hold on just a second, join my team. And I'm glad I did, because we now get a Food Corps member for El Dorado County, and we're in the final stages of bringing that person on. I have an interesting link with Placer County. Ken Kerr is working with the group, and we're working on food insecurity, and it just seems like a natural thing for me as a retired school administrator to spend time on just a few things, and it's the school garden that interests me, the education for kids, and then just food insecurity in general. And Harvest has been doing this for 3 years. Amanda and Malika I've known for a number of years and modeled some of the things that I'm doing after them. And I'm so happy that you're making this possible for us. Thank you.
You're the person we thought of. We were like, who'll come to our training?
Well, to answer the question about why we're here and what we're going to get out of it, Sierra Harvest really is, when you talk, this is the model for this right now in the foothills and in the Motherlode. What's happening with Sierra Harvest is what other people want to be doing more of and seeing. And so we're here because we want to see and listen about how this success is happening and how this is done, so we can do more of this in our area.
I'm Emily Metzger, and I'm from Calaveras County. I'm born and raised in Murphy's area over there. And I am a potential candidate for the Food Corps service member in Calaveras County. And so it was a great opportunity to come and, we're going to be hopefully implementing and learning a lot from you guys. And see what's going on.
And for those of you who don't know, Food Corps is a national service organization that places service members in a service site for a year at a time, and their work is to tend school gardens, to do garden nutrition education, and to work on local food procurement for school meals. So it's a really great new, relatively new national organization that supports this kind of work. And we have a service member at CR Harvest also.
I'm Deanna Correa, and I'm a new master gardener, and I'm just getting involved in one of the school gardens in Railroad Flat. Everything's looking good to me right now. I'm just trying to get all the connections right now.
Great. So thank you for telling us a little bit about yourselves. It's really exciting to think about all of the great work that you are initiating in your areas, and hopefully this training will be give you some nuggets of inspiration or knowledge to kind of take into your areas. I heard a lot about school gardens, and we are not going to focus much on school gardens tonight, but that could be a different training at a different time. One of the things that we do, I mentioned our Sierra Gardens program, where we help families grow food at their homes. Kind of the next phase of that will likely be working with, so we provide kind of a full garden that includes the starts and seeds and mentorship and classes. And if people already have a garden, we call it the toppings, where we just provide the starts and seeds and mentorship and classes. And so we'll be working with schools to do a similar thing, where we provide start seeds, mentorship classes, and work with the teachers on how to integrate their curriculum into the garden. So that's an upcoming program, and not something we're going to talk a lot about, but just FYI. All right. Amanda is going to tell us a little bit, just a brief overview of what our program is, so you have the big picture before we get into the details.
So we do a farm to school program. Currently we are working with 16 schools. We're slated to work with 2 more, to be working with 18 schools next year. So that's 86% of the Western Nevada County school-age population. So we're pretty excited about the breadth of our program. And I will go K through 8, yeah. And so I will go into detail about more specifics on each one of these elements, but I'd like to just present what they are. So our Farm to School program, because we're a nonprofit and we're working with schools, it may be different than each one of the the situations that you're in. But so our program has several elements. So there's produce stands, which we'll show you. That's kind of like a little mini farmer's market at the school. And we have farm field trips. So each of our 16 schools has a local farm partner. So we pair schools and farm partners together. So the kids go out on a farm field trip to that farm. The farm provides produce that goes onto the produce stand. The farmer also comes into the school in the spring or the winter to do an in-school farmer visit. We also do another in-school thing called our tasting week. So that is modeled on a very successful model from Palo Alto. So that's when we get local chefs to come into our schools. So we have a lot of gracious local chefs who volunteer their time. We do it in October because there's a bounty of local produce. So you're able to get produce from your school's farm partner that your guest chef is using in a demonstration with the kids. They're involving them in cooking. It's really, it's been really well received. We've done it a couple of years now. And then we also do Harvest of the Month. Is anybody familiar with Harvest of the Month? All right. And Harvest of the Month is, it's a program that actually happens all over the country, but the idea is that Every student in all of our schools, so that's 180 classrooms, tries a fresh, local, or regional produce item each month. And so logistically, that's moving a lot of produce. It's a lot of work, but it's also the thing we get the most feedback on. So we'll talk a little bit more about our Harvest of the Month program. And we can't do what we do without our farm-to-school liaisons. So at each one of our schools, we have a person who, like I said, they're a liaison. So they work with us at Sierra Harvest, and then they also work with the school. And that person, that's a stipended position, and they're the person who really makes all of these different elements of our program happen. So we can go into more details of it, but that's kind of the big picture of what we do in terms of our farm to school programming.
Yeah, and farm to school means a lot of different things. And you know, some people when they say farm to school, they mean working in school gardens, and our model is not doing either of those things very much, and doing a couple other things. So, you know, we're gonna give you some of the details of what we do because you might be inspired to do something similar, but we understand that it might look really different when you go back and implement something at your place. And I see lots of people taking notes, such diligent students. I wanted to let you know that we are going to be giving you a thumb drive with lots of documents on it. So it has a 2-page description of our Farm to School program. It has the job description for our Farm to School liaisons. It has what Harvest of the Month items we do each month. It has, all kinds of things. So you probably don't need to take a lot of notes because you're going to get lots of documents on that thumb drive.
And I had worked off of 12 RSVPs, so I have 12 zip drives, but this is the age of the internet. If you don't get a zip drive, make sure to star your name on the list, and I'll send you all the information electronically so you have it.
Great, so I'm just going to go into how we bring on new schools to our Farm to School program. Like I said, we're two different organizations. Live Healthy Nevada County started out about 6 years ago in one school garden, supporting and reviving one school garden, and then started a produce stand at that school. And then eventually started 3 produce stands at 3 different schools. And then I came along. then we ramped up to 12 schools and a whole slew of other program elements. So just so you aren't daunted by, oh my God, how could we work with 16 schools? It happened over time, incrementally, and we didn't just start out with doing it this way.
So is that all within the district, or is it multiple districts? Is it charter schools, private schools?
We have about 8 school districts that we work with in Western Nevada County. And we have a superintendent of schools office that does some coordination therein, but mostly, yeah, it's a lot of different districts that we're working with. So yeah, we started then with 12 with the full program, and then have added each year, and so by next year we'll have 18, and we're going to kind of hold it at that for a while. So I'm just going to talk about how we bring a new school on board. So the first piece is just, in terms of beginning is how do you know whether you are ready to start? And I think that for us, we started when we started the 12 schools, Amanda and I were each working 4 hours a week to coordinate the program. So it was 8 hours a week is what it took us as an organization to do this program in 12 schools, plus our farm to school liaisons, which are key to which is what allowed us and is kind of why we structured it that way, because we were like, we have funding for us to work 4 hours a week. We can't possibly work in that many schools, but that's kind of why we created this model of the farm-to-school liaison.
And the farm-to-school liaisons are like employees of the schools? Are they outsiders working in the schools, or is it a combination of?
We'll talk a lot more in depth, but it's a combination. Some are parents, there's a few teachers, there's one school that her grandchild goes there, so it kind of looks however works for the school.
And we originally started out really encouraging it to be a parent because there were things like taking the kids on farm field trips that we figured teachers wouldn't be able to do. And now, in retrospect, we think it's better for it to be a school employee. So, yeah, so.
And you're paying them, not the school.
We are paying them, but we think the school should pay them.
Or they should be from both.
And we'll get into that when we talk about funding. So basically, the kind of agenda is that we're going to talk about our program and how we do it, and then we're going to talk about evaluation and talk about fundraising, and then kind of take questions about, how would we do it for this type of area, or how would we do this in my world, like that. So, basically, having some coordinator, whether it's volunteer time or something like that is good. Then just filling out the interest. Every school that we've started in, we've had someone from that school approach us first, asking for it, and or asking for some element of it. And that's really key to have, interest and support from the school. And then we have kind of developed, after we started with the 12 schools, we were getting a flood of interest. So we developed a selection criteria, which was some combination of free and reduced numbers, which was kind of our bottom line. Like, we want to serve the kids with higher free and reduced participation first. And then we looked at the size of the school and went with schools that had a bigger number, because for us it doesn't take more work really. We're doing the same amount of work whether it's a 100-person school or a 500-person school. So we kind of went with some of the bigger schools first, and then our other criteria was just the interest level. If we had to choose between two similar schools, we'd take the one with the principal who was gung-ho. So that's kind of our,
And what was the first item? I didn't understand that. Free and reduced.
So
Free and
what's
reduced.
the number of kids who qualify for free and reduced?
So low income kind of.
High need.
Lower income schools, students.
You take the one with the principal who I didn't,
Is more enthusiastic.
or, thank you.
Yeah. And let's see, so then, once we've selected the school, we meet with the principal. Basically, we have in your thumb drives what we bring to that meeting, which is, an example of the Harvest of the Month newsletter, a contract for the school. It's not exactly a contract, but it's basically what the school needs to do to participate, what Sierra Harvest will provide in turn. And we have them sign that to say, yes, we will set aside time for our kids to go on farm field trips. Yes, we will keep the garden stand in a place without rain, things like that. And then the next step is meeting with the faculty, because the way that we run Harvest of the Month is different in different places. Sometimes it's all run through food service, and what Harvest of the Month means in some schools is that the food service director puts it on the menus a couple times a month, and that it happens that way. What it means for us is that every classroom teacher passes out the produce, does a lesson, gets the educator guide, and things like that. So we need them to be on board. So we go to a faculty meeting, we present the program, we do a little Harvest of the Month tasting with them, and get them psyched. And then at the same time, we're working on securing our farm-to-school liaison and our farm partner for that school. So we usually look for a farm partner that is close to the school in proximity. And we look for, we usually rely on the principal to find that parent who's really involved in the school garden, or, is a farmer, or, someone like that.